Welcome back to BI for BIM. In this video, I'm going to show you how to go from a BIM model to a ready-to-use Power BI report template using Frame. We're going to do three things. First, upload or connect a model. Second, pick a template, in this case, the starter template. And third, download and open the report in Power BI. All right, let's jump in. Right now, I'm inside my Frame dashboard. At the top, you'll see the option to add a new model. You have two ways to bring models into Frame. You can upload a file from your computer, or you can connect directly to Autodesk Construction Cloud. Let's start with a local upload. I'm going to click Upload Model, and here I can drag and drop a Revit, IFC, Navisworks, or other supported BIM file, or just browse my folders and select it manually. Once I select the file, I confirm the upload, and Frame sends it to be processed. Depending on the size of your model, this can take anywhere from a few seconds to a couple of minutes, but you don't have to do anything else. Frame is extracting and organizing all the properties in the background for you. Now let's see the second option, connecting from Autodesk Construction Cloud. Instead of uploading from my computer, I can choose Connect from ACC. Here I pick my Autodesk account, select the project, and then choose the model I want to use from my ACC folders. I confirm, and again, Frame will process that model and prepare it for reporting. So whether your files live on your desktop or in ACC, the next steps are exactly the same. Once the model is processed, you'll see it listed in your Frame dashboard with a status that shows it's ready. I'm going to click on that model to open its details. On this details page, you can see the key metadata for the model name, file ID, and version. And if it's a Navisworks model, you'll also see the Clash upload settings here. Now I'll click the three dots menu and choose Create Template. That opens a small menu where we can pick which Power BI template we want to use. For this video, we're going to use the starter template. This is the base report that gives you a general overview of your model, elements, categories, some key metrics, and of course the embedded 3D viewer. So I'll select Starter Template. Frame now prepares a Power BI template specifically for this model. Behind the scenes, it's wiring up the dataset, the relationships, and the custom 3D visual, so you don't have to build everything from scratch. Once the download is complete, you can open the Power BI file right on your computer. Just double-click the .pbit and Power BI Desktop will load the template. If this is the first time you're connecting, Power BI may ask you for your Frame credentials or an API key. Just paste in the values from your Frame profile, confirm, and Power BI will start pulling the data. After a moment, you'll see the starter template fully loaded, pre-built pages, charts already connected to your model data, and the Frame 3D viewer ready to explore your BIM model directly inside Power BI. Before we move on, let me very quickly explain what's inside this dataset in simple terms. At the core, you have a main table that represents your model elements. Think of it as a big list where each row is one element from your BIM model: walls, beams, columns, doors, windows. For each element, you'll see things like its name, its category, and some basic info that we extract from the model. On top of that, we load a second data set that we call properties. You can think of this as the full dictionary of the model. It contains all the properties for each element: dimensions, materials, identity data, phases, basically everything the model actually has. So if at any point you're wondering, where is this parameter coming from? It's almost always stored in that properties table. We also bring in other helpful tables, like views. Those are the views that exist in your original BIM file. For example, floor plans, 3D views, or specific detail views. Having a views table lets you filter your report using the same views your design team already knows from Revit or your authoring tool. So in short, one table with the elements themselves, one table with all their properties, and other small tables that add context, like views. That's the base of the starter template. Now, let me walk you through the layout of the report, because that's what you'll be using day to day. The starter template comes with 4 main pages. The first page is the overview. Here you'll see a high-level summary of your model, total element counts, distribution of elements by category, and visuals that help you understand the general composition of the model. It's the page you open when someone asks, "Okay, what's actually inside this model?" The second page is a full 3D viewer page. This page is almost entirely dedicated to the Frame 3D viewer. The idea is that you can focus on navigating the model, orbiting, zooming, isolating elements, without being distracted by a lot of extra charts. The third page is focused on model data plus filters. Here you have tables and visuals connected to the model elements, with filters for categories, families, types, symbols, and so on. You can filter, slice, and explore the data, while still seeing the 3D viewer react to your selections. And the fourth page is called Object Tree, or Object Hierarchy. This page is designed to help you understand how the model is organized, how families, types, and individual elements are structured. You can expand and collapse this hierarchy and interact with the 3D viewer on the same page, so when you click on a family or a type in the tree, you see exactly where those elements are in the model. Since we're talking about these pages, let me also explain briefly how our 3D viewer works, because it's a big part of the experience. The frame viewer you see inside Power BI is built on top of the Autodesk Viewer, but we've added our own custom extensions and logic, and we embed it as a custom Power BI visual. That means you get the reliability of the Autodesk Viewer, plus extra features designed specifically for reporting. Some of those features include the ability to save views, save isolations of elements, save specific camera positions and zoom levels, and even save color overrides that you apply in the viewer. The nice thing is that when you set up the viewer the way you like it, and then save the Power BI report, the next time you open that report, the viewer comes back exactly in that same state. Same view, same isolation, same colors. So you can prepare very clear visual context for your team. For example, a view focused on the facade, or a specific floor, or a system you want to highlight. And every time someone opens the report, they see the model in that story you already prepared. And just so you understand what's happening behind the scenes without going too technical, Power BI is not reading this directly from a random file on your desktop. When you open the template and authenticate, Power BI is calling a secure endpoint in the Frame web application. We first check who you are and which model you're allowed to see. Once that authentication is done, our API responds with the clean, optimized data for that specific model, and Power BI uses that to fill all of these tables automatically. You don't see any of that wiring in the interface, you just get a ready-to-use dataset and can focus on building visuals and making decisions, instead of spending hours exporting and cleaning data. So that's it. In just a few minutes, we went from a BIM model in Frame to a ready-to-use Power BI report template. You now know what's inside the dataset, how the report is laid out, and how the 3D viewer fits into the experience. In the next videos of this series, we'll go deeper into how this starter template is structured and how you can adapt it for your own projects, adding new visuals, connecting extra data, and building more advanced dashboards. If you found this useful, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and tell me in the comments if you're using local files, ACC, or both in your current workflows. I'm Mateo, this is BI for Beam, and I'll see you in the next episode.